Let me ask you something. Have you ever fixed an issue and moved on? You're in the middle of a normal day. Nothing unusual, nothing urgent. You notice something small, not dangerous, not serious, just off. You pause, you adjust it, you move on, and nothing happens. No alert, no escalation, no consequences. So you forget about it. Now, fast forward. A week later or a month later, someone asks a simple question. Have we had any near misses? You think for a second and you say no. Not because nothing was noticed, but because nothing was written down. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most serious incidents don't start with a big mistake. They start with a moment that felt too small to matter. A moment someone saw. A moment someone fixed. A moment no system ever captured. And once that moment passes, it's gone. Today's video isn't about accidents. It's about the moments before them. The ones that quietly decide whether something happens or doesn't. It happens more often than we admit. Small deviations, temporary fixes, situations handled quietly and successfully. People notice risks every day. They use judgment. They prevent outcomes. And then they move on. Because the system never asks them to pause right then. Instead, it asks later. What did you see? Where was it? When did it happen? By that time, urgency has disappeared. Details soften. Timelines blur. What once felt important now feels insignificant. So it doesn't get written down. Not out of carelessness, not out of fear, but because remembering was never the right tool to begin with. Traditional reporting systems weren't designed to protect moments. They were designed to create records. They assume people will recall clear details after the fact, long after context has changed. But the reality is simple. Most serious failures don't come from risks no one ever noticed. They come from familiar situations that were seen before, handled before, and forgotten before. Digital systems don't replace judgment. People still notice, people still pause, people still decide what to do next. What digitalization changes is when learning begins, not hours later, not at the end of a shift, not after someone remembers. Learning starts at the moment of notice. When something feels off, capture happens immediately. Time is automatic, location is precise, context stays intact, no forms to chase, no details to reconstruct, no pressure to remember later. Digital capture doesn't add work, it removes friction. It respects how people actually work by acting first and explaining later. When moments are captured in real time, they don't fade, they connect. Patterns appear that no single person can see. Repeated small issues stop being small. Early warnings become visible before harm forces attention. This is what digitalization really enables. Not reporting, visibility, not compliance, learning. Not after something goes wrong, but before it ever does. And this is where many systems still fail. They ask people to recall risk instead of letting systems protect it. They treat near misses as paperwork instead of signals. They wait for trends instead of noticing moments. Because prevention doesn't fail when people stay silent. It fails when systems stay slow. If this made you think of a moment that was handled but never captured, remember it. And if you want systems that protect those moments, stay with us.